tell you a whole lot. Like for instance, I think it does tell you that you should have to track the footprints and stuff. Like you have to literally go around tracking footprints, but it doesn't actually tell you how you pick up on that. You kind of just stumble across it, or at least that's what I did. Yeah, but like, you play. I'm debating because there's something I feel like maybe I should tell you about, but I don't know enough about the game to say that. Like, if that's a good idea to say that. Nah, I'll actually save it for later. Cause. Yeah. Hang on, I'm gonna lower my volume real quick.
Come on.
That should be good. All right. Not just no, I'll wait because I know you're gonna after this mission they'll send you straight back to the hub world.
I will consider what I've learned from this skirmish.
I hear it a little bit. Oh, it changed the objective? Really? I don't remember that. Oh, I do. I think I do remember that actually. Man, it's kind of weird. Yeah, that was one of the problems I had with that game. It wasn't a huge thing because it doesn't really. It kind of drops you in it. I think it helps you out a bit, but it kind of just drops you into stuff. But it didn't really bother me because I play Warframe and you know how much it doesn't hold your hand. Yeah. But that one isn't as rough, but yeah. Especially with the whole. Oh, look all these magical creatures. Look at how well they're thriving. Let's go kill it. I know. And it's like I don't really know. Yeah. But like I don't really know what happens in like the other games because like I already started with that one, and they just go through it. It's like you already know what's going on. It's like they're hyping up this place. It's like, oh, we're going to this new world. They keep calling it the new world, but all you did was move to like another mountain island. Like, what's that all about? And then they start hyping up, killing all these animals. It's like, why are we doing this? Yeah, I even went to see if all of them were hostile, and like literally. Some of them, they were just goofing around. They were like playing in the water and stuff. It's like, why would I do that? I'm not gonna mess with those guys. And I actually saw someone was like swimming around in water, and they didn't seem to do a whole lot. But as soon as I got over there, they started to attack me. I realized they're not hostile; they're just territorial. I was like, these are legit animals. These aren't monsters. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Oh yeah, yeah. What the yeah, that's the hard part. The time limit, especially like when you beat them. Yeah. I think if I remember correctly, all you have to do is just like if you're swamped, all you have to do is like get like enough clues to gain a scent, and it'll like mark it on the map. At least I think that's how it works.
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave now or continue fighting?
Is it working?
Fighting. Their opportunity to extract will appear soon.
Oh, it's probably because it's your first mission. Probably won't let you do that. But funny enough, I think you can actually fail and it'll kick you out, but you can't abandon it. That's what it called, the Jagra? I kept running around calling it the Jagra or something like that. Those names are kind of hard to pronounce. Did they look like sharks? I think those are the guys I was talking about. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, the reason I wanted to stick with the game long enough to see what it's all about, but like, because the only reason I really got that game is because I never heard it. I barely heard of it. Because like for the longest time, I thought Monster Hunter was Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, cause like for the longest time, the funny thing is they actually had like this commercial where like they had like these Legos and they were like called Monster Hunter or something like that. I think it was like a title thing or whatever it's called. You know, like Lego City, Lego Heroes or whatever. And they had like a Lego Monster Hunters, but I think it was like more like a Scooby-Doo thing. And I had it mixed up because I heard people talking about, oh yeah, I played this game Monster Hunter. It's like, oh, they made a game out of that? Is that where that's from? And I'm like, oh, okay. It's like, oh, this on like Nintendo. Yeah, this must be like a Lego thing because it's like it's on Nintendo. It's probably like a family game or something or whatever it is, like one of those rated T, something like that. And they're like, okay, I don't know if I want to play that. And then it comes out and it's like, wait, this is Monster Hunter? And then I see these people running around. Dude, this is freaking Dark Souls. Like, and then I asked this guy when I was going to get some games from GameStop, and we were like in another city, and I was asking this guy who worked there. He was like, it's like I heard a lot of people play this game. They were saying all these things like people who cover Destiny, they just start picking up this game. And it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna talk about this D2 news or whatever, and they freaking Monster Hunter World in the background. Dude, you gotta check out this game. I was like, what is this game? Like, is this game really all that good? And he starts nerding out. It's like, oh man, this game is like this freaking game. This is the greatest game ever. I played it, like I have like a ton of hours and stuff into this game. It's like, oh, he starts going into all the weapons and stuff. I was like, oh, it's really that good, huh? And he's like, yeah, you should totally get it. I was like, all right, I'll pick it up. I'll see how good it is. Yeah, the combat is good. It's totally not like Dark Souls. That's the only good thing I can say about it at this point. Yeah. Yeah. It is pretty difficult because they take into account running, and it's like Skyrim, or not Skyrim, or was it Skyrim? I know Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 did it, where like if you were to sprint, you had to put your weapon away, and like if you sprint, no matter what you do, you always have to put it away. Like you have to slow down and do that. There is no like run and gun, which I thought was interesting. But it's like, you know, like those games where like, oh, you press X to jump, and like if you're on PlayStation, or you press A to jump. If you're on Xbox or something like that, and you play this game, it's like press Y to jump. It's like, why? Why would I press Y to jump? But it's like a mix between, like, it's like somewhere in the middle is what the combat is, and that's what really was like an off-putting thing to me, and that made it a little hard. I had to get used to that, but of course I never did. Yeah. Yeah. Did you like consistently pick up a bunch of like they have like monster poop and like stuff like that, like the trails and stuff? Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah. Quite a few of them do attack you. But, you know, that's like the one hostile one. And like all the others are like, well, I'm just doing my own thing here. And then here comes this random man-child looking person with a giant freaking blade to come hack them in the back. Yeah, that's the other thing too. It's like, as far as I've gotten, they never explain like what your age is, because you look like somewhere between a young adult and a teenager. It's like they let kids run around and kill monsters. Like, what is this? Yeah. And like at the start of the game. Yeah, like, you know what, like the second thing that got me to take a look at it was like, one of the guys I was talking about who covers Destiny, he covers the lore, and he said he wanted at one point was gonna cover the lore of Monster Hunter, because a few people were doing that. And he was only one person talking about, because he said that Monster Hunter has like this story that in his words he literally put it as Monster Hunter has this beautiful story about the circle of life and stuff like that, and like, oh yeah, all this brutal stuff, but like it's the circle of life, man. And it's kind of hard to explain what he was getting at. Yeah, I actually have no idea. I never made it that far into the game, but that's kind of what he was talking about. He wanted to make an entire lore thing about it, because I don't know if it was him or someone else he was talking about that. Yeah.
Very impressive, Tenno. You held them all back.
Yeah.
Time to get out of here.
For the
But like,
lilies.
because it was either like him or someone. No, I think it was him, but I don't think it was suicide. I think it was depression. And he said it helped. It is some realizing the story that was there kind of helped him through a hard time, something like that. It's like, yeah, there are these freaking 16-year-old kids running around drinking beer and killing animals, and somehow that's the circle of life. All right. Right. You know, I've been debating this for a while. The only reason I put it off is because D2 launched Forsaken, Warframe, and you know, Black Desert, but that's kind of what's put me on the hold. But in a situation like this, it's a good time. I might actually pop it in and then reinstall it if you want me to hop in.
Join us in honor-bound tradition. Lunaro.
Yeah. Huh. I'm kind of budgeting it. What I did was I got like a pack from Warframe. I got the new annual pass from D2, and next month actually, I'm actually gonna pre-order it. I'm gonna get it before May. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, it was kind of like a sort of like a technically an opposite for me, but kind of like the same thing. Cause I actually got it because Black Desert. I know, cause like I really want to play Black Desert, and who knows when that's coming out. At the time, I was like, who knows when that's gonna come out? They literally just announced it like a few months ago on in E3 that it's coming to Xbox, and it's like, well, this game is here. It's kind of like it. I think I could check it out. Maybe that'll be like a little appetizer until it comes out. Boy, did I know what I was getting myself into. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. You know that Warframe from Fortuna that you can get? I actually last week I actually got all of her parts, but the problem is I have absolutely no idea where to get the materials to build them. I just have been having them this whole time, and I never built a single piece. Yeah, like you need 3 blueprints for it, and then you have to get the blueprint for the Warframe itself, and you have to build all of them. But I don't have the materials for any of them.
Diagnostic regressions. All systems nominal. You don't need to thank me.
Yeah, that game.
Yeah. 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 I look like. Yeah. Cause like. Yeah. Cause like the what I've been attempting to do. Cause I do this for myself, and I would willingly do it for whoever asks, because it's extremely important that everybody has that first time experience. Like the first people who played the game, I've done my absolute best to like curate the game towards a fresh new experience as possible. Like I do my absolute best to suppress my own biases and opinions.
That was a close one.
Like to the point where I'm literally nothing but a guide, and I'm always here if you ask for it, but I'm never gonna insinuate like I'm always gonna be there as like a tool and a guide. I'm not gonna be like there to one-shot everything and tell you how to cheat the game and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you know. Don't you understand? I am reliving my noobhood through you. Don't you ruin this for me. Yeah. But I think his whole problem is, like like those people who like to mid max and like power level through stuff. There's people who love that stuff, right? And there's nothing wrong with it, but like this guy's problem is the whole concept of how we play games is it doesn't exactly click to him. And when you like even if you do try to explain it to him, he might not realize it. Like he might not get it because he's like one of those people. It doesn't exactly click in his head like immediately or like as well as it would you or I. And he's like, "Well, I don't get it. Why are you doing that?" And he's like getting frustrated because this is how you play the game. I mean, that's not how you play the game. How you play the game is how you want to play the game. And he probably doesn't realize that. And he's getting frustrated because, yeah. 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 Like, I'm glad that I never played Mortal Kombat like online or something like that when I was growing up, because I didn't realize this until like half a month ago or something like that. That the character Meat, right? From I think it was Armageddon. Turns out, yeah, if I heard this correctly, it turns out that he was like one of the worst characters in the game. I used to love playing as that guy because like one of his abilities, you could like, he would like pull his eyeball out of his socket, and that would heal him somehow. That was amusing to me. I love using that guy. He wasn't my favorite. Sub-Zero was my favorite. He's always my favorite, but I loved playing as Meat. That was ridiculous. I just love this moveset and stuff.
Extraction is ready.
It was ridiculous.
You can handle more of the
I mean, I get it. Like if you want to be efficient,
you
but come on, man. It's Meat. I love Meat. I don't think I have. That sounds like somebody I know. That sounds like someone that I've come across who is just this freaking OP legend. They just pick a character and practically obliterate you. Like I would come across, when I was growing up, I would come across all types of people who would play games like that, but they were always older. They were always older, and they would just destroy people. It was ridiculous. I had never seen people do that before, and they could beat you with pretty much almost every single character. One of my best friends, he's that good at fighting games. He's not like the greatest, but he's great enough to destroy me if I'd ever play against him. And he can play pretty much every single character.
transference still holding?
Yeah, you pick 3. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. I like the sound of that. Yeah. Oh, that's what. That's sort of. Yeah, because I think that's what it reminded me of. I had it rattled in my brain trying to figure out because it sounded the premise sounded a little bit familiar to me, but if I was understanding this correctly, it's kind of like you know, those card games like Magic the Gathering, or I think no, it was like Hearthstone, kind of similar premise. Like where you had to like pick different characters and stuff, and like if you didn't have like the right deck equipped and stuff like that, and the right combination, they could screw things up, stuff like that, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. What? I've been meaning to yeah, I'm trying to I just got like 2 new Warframes. Well, yeah. Let me actually tell you what I've been doing. I'll do my best not to spoil the good bits, but you know Prime Warframes, right? You know how I got my first one, Mirage Prime. I actually got like I got 2 more. I got a Warframe called Nova Prime and Warframe, you know, the Mag Prime, like the one I started with, Mag, the one I got burnt out on. I got the Prime version of that.
Do you choose
but turns out after putting it off for a while, I actually
Objective
kind of
is
like it
secure. Let's
a
go
lot
home.
more, and because it's pretty much built for CC and you can straight up destroy things Cause like one of her abilities, it shreds armor, and it gives everybody on the team their most of their shields back. But like if you max rank her and you like bring her to like mid-level to sort of high-level enemies, it'll like the high-level enemies, it will damage them pretty well, but to mid-level to low-level enemies, it'll straight up one-shot them all. It's pretty ridiculous. And actually, yeah, with that Warframe, cause like, and cause you know how I said like I was straight up, oh yes, it's done. But like I was slacking off, like midway through the game. I really kicked it into high gear and started shuffling my butt towards rank 10. And right now, what I'm doing, I literally have something called the Acolex Prime, not the Acolex Prime. Acolex, which is literally like 2 pistols. Acavasto is another set of 2 pistols. Ether daggers. Warframe called Banshee. Pistol called Kraken. And I actually got like another Prime Warframe I'm building right now. I have all her parts building. And I have a Saren Systems part. Oh, that's actually done. I literally have all that stuff building right now. And I've had like 8 other weapons that I've had building like almost all at once. That's pretty much what I've been doing this entire time. And it's, yeah, well, not right now, like over the course of a week. But I have literally been doing a ton of stuff. Cause I've been like back and forth. Cause like earlier today, I literally like the Mesa the Prime Warframe I'm building now. It's called Mesa Prime. It actually requires 19. And here's a funny thing about that. This morning, I was actually going to get I had like a bunch of 19. I had like 619, and I used to. And then I had it, and it's like, oh, okay, this one requires like 219. This one has 219. Okay, I can only have enough to like build one. I'm gonna build like one, and then I'm gonna see if I can get like some more 19, because you know like the alerts, they're the only way that you can get 19, and they pop up every once in a while, and they only give you one. And I just my luck, I popped in, and then I saw one there. I was like, yes, I could just get this. And I can get this now, and I can go ahead and build the other piece. And then I realized it's all the way on Pluto, and it's a mission I hadn't done yet, which means it was locked. And I was like, okay, fine. What I'll do is I'll try to push towards it, and I'll unlock it. And then I realized that I had like a spy mission and an extermination mission. I was like, well, the extermination mission is gonna be faster. And then I go on there, and they're like level 30 to freaking 40, and they like take like 2 to 3 shots, and I have like a really powerful shotgun right now, and I was using that. It was shredding through them, but it was burning time, and I was like, okay, if this thing is like really, this thing really has like like 19 minutes left. If I can push through this, it'd be super quick. And I was like pushing through it as fast as I could. I was doing things because I never really slow down, and I mean I never really like speed run things. I don't really like to skip cutscenes and stuff like that, but this one time I decided to do it. I tried to like speed run it, and I kept getting my butt kicked left and right. I had to revive myself like 2 to 3 times, and I had like 2 revives left, and I got stuck on an alarm system, which really was kicking my butt. I was like, oh man, this is gonna cut like half my time off. And by the time I finally finished the mission, I got there with like 4 to 5 minutes to spare, I think. And after all of that, the mission was too hard. We actually failed it, and we got nothing. And by the time I got back to my orbiter, the mission was gone. I was like, man, that sucks. I read all that stuff, and I did all that things I did, and I didn't get it. And then I hopped back to my phone. Yeah. Yeah. But here's the best part. I went back to my orbiter, and I hopped back to my founder already. It's like, well, at the very least I can check all my stuff here, and I can see what other stuff that I need to get from other things, and I'll wait for another one to pop up. And then I look here and I was like, okay, well, at least I got, just make sure I got all this stuff right. I said, yeah, I got this. I got my Banshee is still working. I got like 2 more days left on this. I got this stuff, and I got, okay, Mesa, this, and at least I got this Mesa chassis done, because this one requires 19. At least I got this one done. I don't have one to worry about. And then I look at it, it's like, wait, Mirage Prime? No, wait, why am I building this? I already have it.
New alert marked.
And then yeah, and then I yeah, and then I canceled it, and I was like, okay, I got my 19 back, at least I think. Let me go down here and look and see if that's enough. And turns out, bam, right there. I thought I had like 4 pieces to build, but I only had 3. It's like, I did all of that stuff, and I had all that stuff already right here, because I had freaking jitters, man. My nerves were like freaking shot by the time I did all of that stuff. I was like, I did all that, put myself through all that stress, and I already had this stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Well put together, operator. Now get out there and cut down the... Make the Lotus proud.
Yeah.
I guess you could say it's random. You just have to play the game actually to figure out that that's what's happening. So it's just deep.
Yeah. Like, that was actually that was the most stressful mission I've actually ever done in this entire game. And the last time was that shot, my nerves with that shot. It was actually what? That's like what? I think it was, no, it was 2008 or 2009. I actually had like this OG Spider-Man game from Activision, like the one that came out when the first movie came out, you know, with Tobey Maguire. That game, like, the further you get into that game, the harder it gets. And I got to like the last part with Venom and Carnage, and man, it's one of those ones where the camera is faced in one direction, and you have to like move towards the camera to a place that you can't see, and you have to avoid Venom. And at the time, he freaked me out by the way he looked and what he was doing and all the sounds he made. As I was literally terrified. I was like, oh, I have to do this. I had to get her all the way over there, and my hands were shaking all and stuff like that. I could actually feel like cool Spider-Man. It was just called Spider-Man. Yeah, and it was actually the PC back when. That's yeah. That was when I actually played PC games kind of regularly. I hadn't done it since. What? Yeah, I actually have done it since, but like a few years ago, I actually got kind of heavy into MMOs, but I kind of like burned through them left and right because some of them weren't exactly what I was looking for. But yeah, man, cause I can actually feel like a cool breeze. You know, like the parts you like feel like there's like hollow parts in your arms sometimes, and I actually could feel like a cool breeze in between that, like in that area, kind of like it was like making my hands jitter, and I was like, phew, I need to sit down somewhere. I actually felt like I had diabetes or something. And cause that sucks, cause I actually did it like once before, like the first time I actually got to that part. I never beat it because I did it like 7 or 8 times, and like a few years after, my brother picked up the game and he tried to do it. He couldn't do it. He didn't beat it. We sat there for like what 30 to 40 attempts, and we didn't get it at all. I tried it back in 2008, or was it 2009? I finally beat it. The first thought on my mind was, woo, I'm never doing that again. and all. Yeah. The thing is, it was one of those games where you could save it, but I believe it was the one where like after a certain amount of time, it would kind of like wipe your save and send you back to a certain point. It wouldn't restart the game completely, but because you could like quick save and stuff, but it wasn't as forgiving. You could like save scum or whatever, and you're like, oh yeah, I'll just have this like just in case. At least I think that's how it was. Yeah. 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 Yeah, back in the day. Yeah, I did back in the day, like when they had like the yeah. Yeah, it sucks. Actually, played a few games like that, but like, yeah, like that was like a long time ago. That was like those old Super Nintendo games. That was like, oh, I do remember one. I remember this one. It's been a while because like I actually saw it a little while later, ago, and I looked at all the levels and I'm like, I don't remember this level being designed this way, but like I do remember. It was one of those games. You had I think it was 4 lives. It was the Latin game. You know the old, Super Nintendo Latin game. It was a platform. Yeah, it was a platformer. Yeah, the platformer. I played that game. It was a good game, but the problem was it was hard, and I was surprised at my age that I could actually pull off getting as far as I did, because I seen a bunch of people do it, and they didn't get anywhere near as close as I did. But the thing is, there was this one part where you had to like, you know, like those games where you had to like keep up with the screen. Like the screen wouldn't follow you. You would have to keep up with it. And nice. Yeah. And if you fell behind the screen, you die. And it was like this lava area with all these platforms and stuff, and like you had to, yeah. And I got to that part at the very least 2 to 3 times, and I would literally flip out. I mean, like throw like a mini tantrum and hit my leg sometimes, because I actually have a habit of that. Hit my leg a few days ago. That's not the first time that's happened. I've actually done that many times before. Yeah. But like, it's been a while since I've done that. Like, I mean, like years, because I used to do that a lot. Not like a ton, but a lot. Like enough to like, yeah, I know you do that sort of thing. I know you're known for that sort of thing. You do that every once in a while. But like, man, that was painful, because you get really far into that game, and this one freaking cheap level decides, no, you don't get another shot. I'm taking you back to the beginning. I have never beaten that game because of that part. I have never passed that part. Because I gave that 2 or 3 attempts. I did the first 2 attempts. I did like the first time I seen it was actually with family. They actually did it, and I gave it like a couple of attempts. But the first few times after that, I actually did it myself, and I gave it like 2 or 3 attempts. And sometime later, I did it like a 4th time, and that was it. I never went back to that game. And now I can't go back to that game because who knows what happens. what happened to that, because we had it like in a little box somewhere, and then we moved. It's still in there because nobody owns the house except for the people who lived in it, which is us. But it's still in there, and I actually have no idea what condition it's in. Because I would love to play that Super Nintendo. That was great. Yeah. 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 That sucked. Okay. I kind of had like I did like a mad dash because my controller kind of freaking died, but I heard everything you said though. Okay. Okay, later. Nah, it's alright. I'll tell you later. Bye.